Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of SOSOBONE Marketing for Virgins. And I say virgins because I think in context of us doing something for the first time, something that we're not accustomed to doing. Therefore, we are breaking into that virgin territory. My name is Trevor Smith. Now, let me say this. As business people, we are often told we to take every opportunity that comes our way. But you never know who could be in attendance at that next event that you attend and what connection you will find at that event or what could lead to future opportunities. So, you have to say that sometimes it's less about saying yes and more about knowing what's okay to give up. So, there are certain things that you should actually give up, I would say, as a business person. And one of them is being able to say is no, or being able to say the thing that is correct than was about saying yes. Now, habits, as you know, if you're ever like a nail biter, can be incredibly hard to break. The invisible mental habits of ours can be even more difficult to overcome. But because of this, they're even more important. Let me put it this way. Give yourself permission to quit some of the things that you have been doing. And give yourself the time and patience to break the habits, okay? Now, one of the things that we need to give up on is not having enough time. Successful business people don't frame things around not enough. Okay? You Once you can deal with that underlying fear, then the other issues will fall into place. So another thing, give up comparing yourself. Now here's the thing about comparison. You're always going to be better at some of things than other people and worse at other things. So dwelling on either isn't going to get you anywhere, alright? If you stifle your ability to be creative, and start comparing yourself to someone who is 20 years in the business, in their career, then it can stunt your growth. Okay? So don't even compare yourself with someone who is just starting. Instead, focus on how you stack up next to someone else. Invest that energy, okay, into comparing yourself with what you did 6 months ago versus what you're doing now. Have you grown? Have you gotten stronger? Are you more confident? And then you say to yourself, where do you want to see yourself 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years in the future? Okay? Only compare yourself with yourself. Give up making excuses. Okay? That's another thing that we have to do. If you want to be successful, then you have to show up. You have to do the work. If, like some business people, you say to yourself at one time or something or another along the lines like, I can't do this today because I'm too busy, then, it's an excuse, okay? And you know what? Sometimes it feels good to do that. It feels justified and reasonable, and like you're doing it and you're doing the right thing to yourself. But say this is more like fear that is masquerading as resistance, okay? And so you sort of have these self-doubts, procrastinate, worry about rejection, all of these things stop you from showing up, to do business as you should. So when you stop making excuses, you can start owning the direction that you are going in. And if needs be, you have the willpower to change that direction. So another thing you also need to do is give up working all the time. I mean, it looks like you're working, but sure, you have to turn up at the business when you don't want to do the work. And get what? You also have to know that, you have to know when to leave and to take the time to take care of your body, your health, your emotion, and even your social well-being. All right? You can't make your best work if you are not investing in yourself, in your mind and in your body. We have seen where people sacrifice both of these things in the name of their business. But you need your body on the most basic of levels to create and to do your business. So a successful business people know that their success is a marathon and not a sprint. So you need to maintain your health to stay in the game. So make time in your schedule to stretch, exercise, go for walks, cook healthy meals, and have conversation with your peers, with your family, with your friends, things like that. And another thing you need to do, give up taking uninformed advice to heart. When you get it, let it just flow off you like that. Just, I mean, sometimes people look at like, oh, well, when are you going to get a real job? And, when are you going to grow up? At what point does business people realize that they're not talented enough to make hits? I mean, listen, people sometimes that don't have the confidence that you do, they look at you in that capacity. Like, oh, it must be nice to work for yourself when you don't have to go to work when you feel like not going to work, listen, and let me put it this way. We can choose who to listen to and what advice to take. You may have heard this adage that we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Okay, spend time with those that push you to succeed, those that have succeeded as a business people, and those that inspire you to do so. Now listen, not all advice is created equal. Okay, so on that basis, you have to give up perfectionism also, and that goes hand in hand with the fear of failure. Business people obsess on the need to make everything right or do everything right. They're often in fear of failure. But the irony is this, that they fail to even put anything out there. They need to go and expand. I want to do this, and I need to do something different. I have to change this thing I'm doing because it's working, but I want it to work more. That perfectionism will kill you. I mean, they believe that it has to be perfect, whether it's skills or talent or education, website or statement. Listen, it will keep you endlessly spinning your wheels. Okay? Failure just means you are learning. Keep failing because you'll be learning your entire career. Okay? Now, another thing is, give up feeling selfish. Everyone contributes to the world in their own way. We need doctors and lawyers and teachers, but we also need business people and tradesmen and creatives, that makes our world interesting, vibrant, and enjoyable. Okay? Your challenge is to find what you are at the core and then do it. So, business is not a selfish act or a bid for attention on the part of a business person. Being a good business person is a gift. It's a gift to the world and every person in it. Don't cheat us out of your contribution. Give us what you have got. Okay? Business people often feel guilty for not having a job that puts a stress on other people, that they should be contributing more to the family income if they are not making money. And they either feel guilty when they are in the studio, at the work, and and away from their family, because that's part of it, is that part is not working. But listen, guilt is a counterproductive emotion. If you find yourself feeling guilty, remind yourself that your work is important and it is needed, that your business is important and it's needed. It is what makes you whole and able to contribute more fully to your family when you are there. So give up your need for praise. You might want everyone in to like your business, but that's not going to happen. And in fact, it's better that not everyone likes your business, because then you get some criticism and you have to keep on going. It's really scary putting yourself out there, especially when your business is so personal, and then, allowing the world to look at you and to judge you, and then they critique you, all of those things. Okay? Self-doubt definitely plays a role, but it can be empowering to know that not everyone is going to love your work and your success or your failure. That is okay. It means you're getting something you're getting at something interesting and something different. Now listen, as a business person, it isn't your job to, you know, do the most mass produced work or product. Your job is to say something and to present something to someone that they appreciate. So ask yourself, if you would make business today, and if you ever see it, would you make a business that you couldn't show to anyone? That you could not invite anyone to come and see? That you would not invite yourselves, your friends to come on and see? Now listen, remember, you really want to make something that people appreciate, and you'll never know how much it means to them until you invite them to come in. All right? So it's easy to get wrapped up in social praise, from the media and the likes and the, all of that stuff. But a successful business knows that their growth comes from within and not from external praise. So, and also give up on the myth of this scattered genius, okay? That you're a genius. Listen, successful business people know that they have to be organized to get ahead, okay? Oftentimes, business people try and wiggle out of this by saying something along the lines of, oh, I'm not a business person, I'm not a marketing person, I'm not a sales person, all of that stuff. I'm not good with technology, or with social media. I don't know to use Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. I don't have time for that. Listen, this is an excuse for being too lazy. That is to learn the basic skills. The skills necessary for running your business. Not only does being organized cut down on the stress that comes along with a business career, it all helps you present yourself with professionalism. Knowing your business is who you sold piece of it to, and how to get any of the critical information at the drop of a hat to give to them. It can be impossible to concentrate on on your business and work at hand if you're constantly searching for information. You need to know it. So often, as a business, you'll accidentally find a customer, okay? Because they didn't have expect to find you here, or you lose a customer because you didn't have a system in place. It works both ways. Now you get one, now you lose one. All because you might not have a system in place. So when you say X, you say Y. Hey, why is a question? And it needs an answer. Now, let's just give it this opportunity to work. All right, so you want to start your business. What do you want to do? You want to fall in love with your business. Why? Because it brings satisfaction to people. Not because you want to make money, that you want to be recognized by your peers, not because you want to get external praises. No. Your business must fulfill a need. And when you do that, oh Lord, when you do that, everybody is going to want to turn up at your business. So let me say this. My name is Trevor Smith, and you're listening to SOSOBONE Marketing Network, SOSOBONE Radio, SOSOBONE Marketing for Virgins. My telephone number is 347-538-0276. My email address is contact@sosobone.com. And you can visit my website at www.sosobone.com. And how do you spell Sosobone? SOSOBONE.com. Sosobone.com. And I'm going to tell you this. On many occasions, people ask me, Trevor, why did you call your business Sosobone? I said, well, have you ever gone into a restaurant and order oxtail. From you walk inside, you can smell it. Whew. The spices are reaching you. When you look, you say, oh, I want the oxtail. And you sit there with your eyes open with great anticipation. Like, wow. You know, you can smell it. You can actually taste it. Oh, yes. And as you walk over to the table, you sit down. And they put that nice plate of oxtail in front of you. And you breathe it in. And you can feel your saliva flowing. You take the knife. You take the fork. And you tip a liquor. And you put it in your mouth. And it tastes so good. So good. And then you take the knife. And you start to cut. And you cut through the first layer. And then it won't cut. And you try to cut. And it won't cut. And you say, oh my goodness. Underneath is SOSOBONE. Yes. SOSOBONE. That's why I call my podcast SOSOBONE. Because underneath all the fat of your business, and under all the trimmings, and after all that flesh on top, when you cut down, you're going to get to the bone. The bone is your goal. The bone is your reason. The goal is your dream. Cut the fat. Let's get down to the bone on SOSOBONE. Thank you so much for watching. And again, this is part 2 of SOSOBONE Marketing for Dummies. Or I should say, pardon me, for virgins. You're listening to Trevor Smith on a SOSOBONE podcast.